what I can't believe is how there's anybody that doesn't see what's happening in Israel and with the Palestinians, how that's not anything different. That it's different in weird ways, but it's pretty much the same as like weapons of mass destruction and the slaughter of 4 million Middle Easterns, I think Iraqis, right? And then Afghanistan and all that stuff. And like, this overhanded response to something, which is most likely a false flag. Now, if something's a false flag, that doesn't mean people didn't die or that the controlled opposition didn't kill people. I think they do kill people. That's their role. That when you're controlled op, like Al Qaeda and ISIS is, right? Like, answer me this, everybody. If ISIS is such bad guys who are in their Islamic, an Islamic terrorist group, why aren't they going into Gaza right now whooping ass for fucking the Palestinians? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they apologized to Israel for actually accidentally shooting at them.
Right. Or how about a recent example where, and this happened more than once over the last couple of months, where right at the peak height of rhetoric, ISIS attacks Iran. Well, hold on. Didn't you just tell us Iran was the leading sponsor of terrorism? How does that make sense? And then, all of this is shockingly obvious if you barely scratch past the surface, which is what you're highlighting. These are proxy armies of the U.S. and Israel. The fact that we can't be honest about that when you have so much evidence, if you just look at like James Corbett's documentary on Al Qaeda or Ben Swann's documentary from years before that, showing you where this really funds back to with the receipts. It's unreal that we can't acknowledge that. Saudi Arabia made a statement a decade back that basically acknowledged that, yes, it was a creation that they were involved in, but basically they lost control of it, to some elements of it. Now, that itself could have been a narrative to kind of remove themselves from accountability. But in any sense, we can go back to things like the Mujahideen, the Soviet Union. I mean, Charlie Wilson's War is a movie about it, where they fund the bad guys in order to manipulate Russia, just like the Azov movement, same thing they're doing now in Ukraine, and then just pretend, basically the story goes they left and went away, and then, but the point is they were still there, they're still manipulating. That is the basis for what we're talking about. Then you have the Saudi Arabian overlap with the Wahhabi kind of militant mindset that intertwines with that. This is ISIS. I mean, all these things are coming directly, provably from the people they're working with. And we can't acknowledge that, acting like they're fighting extremism while they're working with the most extreme elements. And to bring this back to Israel, the fact that Israel literally funded Hamas, and I argue still does with the leadership to this very day.
I totally agree, man. 100%. 100%. Like, you can't go, what about Hamas? I go, dude, Israel created Hamas. You can't just ignore that. You can't just go, oh, I don't know if that's true. It's true. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it may not be a fact. Right. There's facts out there you don't like, and this is the real problem we're getting into with our life, that more and more it's becoming obvious that some unsettling facts are true. And if you can't have the discussion about the unsettling facts, you'll never fix the problem. We cannot inject feelings into certain situations because that was being discussed makes you uncomfortable. We have to have a real discussion here. And we have to go, what we're doing to the Middle East is like a genocide. It's not just Palestine. It's like what we did to the Iraqis. It's what we did in Afghanistan. We commit genocide. We are genocidal. When they tell you 4 million people died from George Bush's war, how is he not talked in the same way as Hitler? Like, how do you not do that, dude? He's 2 million off. Throw in some Afghanis. We hit that number, dude. Dude, if I was around, I would never sell for Hitler. I would never let Hitler run. You let him happen. 9/11, you fell for some bullshit. Like,
right, or the COVID-19 situation, you guys failed to push back on that, or right now you failed to stand up against Israel, like that question of what would you have done during World War II? And we're watching it more than once right now. It's so infuriating when you can see someone like Madeleine Albright. Yeah, that's right. Right? That's that name? Where she says, ask, I think it was 60 Minutes. Do you think it was worth it? Yeah, 500,000 children. Yeah, we think it's worth it. Like, think about that in the context of what we're dealing with now. And this is why it's so hilarious to watch these Zionists with their clumsy propaganda come out and be like, you didn't care about Iraq. So think about the point they're making when they say that. So it's okay that you commit genocide because we didn't care about that genocide. It's like they don't think this stuff through. But it's crazy to see her say that it's okay. And right now, rightly so, people are screaming about 15,000 children because we should have been screaming. They should have been locked up for even acknowledging that that was okay. Of course, the argument is that it was like a byproduct, but it's the same game they're playing today. It's like, oh, human shields and all these overlaps. They're willfully allowing this to happen, just like they did with Iraq. There was war crimes tribunals and things that were investigated, but people like Bolton and Bush and the rest of them and Pompeo threatened the families of the ICC, and just like they did today. You know, it's the same game. These are the same people doing the same things. Hopefully, we're going to see something shift with this one, though.
And for the record, I'm for all presidents being put on trial. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I mean, I'm willing to throw in Trump if you'll give me everybody else.
Oh, that'd be easy.
Hey, I think Trump's. Well, they're all equally as bad, man.
No,
Trump is just better
100%. You want to try Trump? Go for it. I don't care, dude. As long as you give me Bill Clinton and the Bushes. If you give me Bill Clinton and the Bushes, I'll happily give you Donald
like
Trump.
Obama.
Yeah,
too,
I was
please.
about to